who receive 100% of their retirement savings end up broke within the 5 years after retirement. Yet majority of them prefer this retirement because they are able to make an investment with the lump sum amount of money. I am now joined by Willie from Enwaelth Finance Services, who will educate us more on life after retirement and how can one plan for savings for development. Okay, why most people end up broke when they get all their retirement money?
Is because number one is they don't have a strategy around it. And then consumption is a function of income. The much that you have, the much that you spend. So that's one of the key reasons why people go broke after receiving the entire portion of their retirement benefits.
What strategies can you advise to help the retirees plan their pension after retirement?
I think the most important thing is to have a pre-retirement training for every employee. And if you're an individual and you're going on the road on your own, it might be a little bit challenging. So the most important thing is to get a financial advisor, somebody who understands your needs and helps you now come up with a strategy and a plan on how you're going to manage your pension benefits. From the first time that you're employed, or you have some extra cash to save for your retirement until the time you retire. And they guide you through on how to spend prudently on your benefits.
Now, what about those people in Mashinani, maybe, who are not having these services, unlike those in the cities?
I think it has been a campaign that has been picked up by the Retirement Benefits Authority because only 20% of the workforce is pensionable. What about the other 80% of the workforce? Leave alone the 80%. What about the rest of the people that are in the informal market? So as our team and RBA has been doing a campaign to sensitize members of the entire economy the importance of having a retirement plan. So you can start off by as little as 500 shillings. Even if you're in the outskirts of Nairobi, you can actually start saving up for your retirement. So the campaign has been driven and geared towards bringing an awareness of the importance of having a pension plan and what it can actually do for you in your golden age.
When you talk about the private pension fund and the public pension fund, maybe which one can you say that is more helpful in the country?
These pension monies are well guarded by the RBA. There is a rule that says that when somebody leaves, within 30 days they get the entire money. So there's nowhere that you're going to get people not being able to access their pension money. So it's a well-guarded structure that has good governance, and the government, of course, involved.
Okay, now give us the difference between pension fund and the provident fund.
Pension and provident. So these are both retirement funds. They are offered by the employer to the employee, and the major difference is how you access your money at the age of retirement. So for the provident fund, you're actually allowed to access the entire portion of your retirement benefits, whereas in the pension structure, you're allowed to get a third of your pension as lump sum, and the 2/3 you either purchase an annuity or an income drawdown.
Okay, maybe an annuity. What is that?
So an annuity. So just in a layman's language, I'm just going to explain it right to you, because when you retire, when you're saving up during your working period, you're saving up to get a regular income when you retire, isn't it? So the law says that when you retire now, you've saved up your entire 25-30 years of your career, so you get a third of that money as lump sum. You can do with it whatever. The 2/3 then you're actually allowed to get it on a regular basis, either monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, or annually. Okay, so it's a vehicle. It's an investment vehicle, actually.
What about the best retirement plan between pension fund and maybe provident fund?
For me, both work well depending on the individuals themselves, because some are some individuals that I've met actually, because I also do consulting work, they are very good at savings, and their finances are up to the standards. So even if you give them the entire monies upon their retirement age, they are going to manage those funds But those people that are not very good with finances and they don't have a good savings and investment culture, I can actually recommend a pension fund for them. Because now this one, actually I normally say it protects you from yourself. Because some people, when you give somebody a lot of money, they're going to squander it. They're going to spend it on unnecessary things. So the pension fund now allows you to draw that money in bits and pieces. Well, most people say they want the entire money when they retire, and then I ask them, what are you going to do with the money? They say they are going to start a business. But it's a funny thing, because look at somebody who got to the age of 60. They have never done a business before, and then they want to take their 3 million entire life saving to start a business that can go south. For me, I recommend that you get a financial advisor, as I said before. Let them help you plan on how you're going to spend your money for the next 30, 40 years you're going to be alive.
Maybe under pension fund, best alternative between the annuity and the income money at once. Maybe explain us more.
So between annuity and income drawdown, I think they both serve the same purpose. They give you a regular income, okay? Either monthly, quarterly, semi-annually. It's for you to decide. The good thing with the income drawdown is because it's more flexible. Annuities, they lock you up for the rest of your life because the insurance companies take the risk for you. But for an income drawdown, you can go up to 10 years. You can decide either to take another annuity. You can decide to take an income drawdown or you can decide to take another income drawdown or purchase an annuity.
With the current economy in the country, maybe how can the retirees actually balance between what they get so that they can develop themselves?
For me, I normally say when you retire, you will have 3 basic needs. Number 1, you'll need a very good health cover, because I assume that while you're working, your employer was able to provide for you a good healthcare cover. The question is, when you retire, are you able to get that for yourself and your spouse and maybe your kids? Number 2, you need a roof over your head. By the time you get to the age of 60, I don't expect you to be renting a house, maybe in Nairobi or in any urban area. You need to have a roof over your head. Number 3 is a regular income. So I suggest for you to be able to retire comfortably, get these 3 things right. Make sure that you don't pay rent, because assuming that you retire with 30,000 a month and you're used to getting 100,000 a month, that will be an income replacement ratio of 30%. That is not even sufficient to make sure that you live in comfortably as you are while employed. So when you retire, just make sure that you minimize the costs. Of course, now you're not commuting from home to work. And of course, you don't have kids that you're taking to school, I'm assuming, by the age of 60. So the little money that you're going to get from your income drawdown or annuity, spend it on yourself and spend it to cater for the basic needs.
The youth consist of 30% of the population in the country. Now, maybe how are you creating awareness to them so that they can start save early for their retirement?
It's an interesting question that you've asked, because as a consultant at Enwaelth, I normally do financial advisory, and I meet people one-on-one, and I sit down with them, talk through their finances. And trust you me, by the time you retire, there are 2 types of people. Number 1, person who's prepared. Number 2, person who's not prepared. Surprisingly, these 2 people who are working in the same industry, perhaps the same company, funny enough, even in the same department, but one is more prepared than the other. I think the most important thing, what we are trying to do is sensitize people on the need of having a plan as young as 25 when you get your new job, and you think ahead. You think on how much you want to retire with, and you start saving towards that.
The international pension companies are now coming into the country's market. Maybe as a local financial pension services company, maybe how ready are you to compete?
I think we're not going to compete with them, simply because this market is purely untapped. It's only 20% coverage of the workforce. There's so much potential in it. And then again, It's the same product. What we do at Enwaelth is just define ourselves differently by offering very good customer services and being innovative in the product offering.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, that has been Mr. Willie from Enwaelth Finance Services, who has been educating us more about life after retirement. Until another time, my name is Victor Moturi.